Why, hey there, folks. Say, are you a man that likes watching 1960s sitcoms and enjoys the wonders of the female foot? Well, look no further, because right now we are about to review Quentin Tarantino's 9th film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Don't click away! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Theater Talk. I am Jonathan Funes, and today we are going through the 9th film of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, I would like to name off a few things that were great about the movie. First, Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt's characters. Now, for those who've seen the trailers, you already know that there's sort of like a dynamic duo type friendship. And for those who've already seen the movie, then you probably already know that it's sort of a mix between that and then a mix between responsible partnership. So with Leo's character, I liked it because he's just that one actor that has always strived to do the best that he can, but he also thinks he could do better in some places. But on the other hand, Brad Pitt's character, he's just a stuntman. He's supposed to do the things that Leo's character cannot do because he's the star. But also on the other hand, Brad Pitt's character, he wants to do something more with just being Leo's personal stunt double. And so what I like about them two is that the more they progress in their characters in the movie, you can really see both those characters shine in their own way. For instance, when Leo is having his own dialogue with other characters, you can see the very undertone of why he thinks he's not that much of a good actor as he was in the 50s. And Brad, when he is like alone in his own scenes, he's more of like I'm trying to find what I can do better with my job. And then he can't really just stay Leo's stunt double forever. He needs to explore more opportunities. I really admire Quentin Tarantino's eye for 1960s Hollywood life. Because if you look across any of the scenes, for those who have watched the movies, you can see that there's a few references to pop culture in the 1960s. For instance, the television show MASH. You can see a few hints and references throughout the whole movie. Also with the television show Man from U.N.C.L.E. And to also not forget, probably one of the more infamous references that is also a supporting character in the movie, which is Margaret Robbie's Sharon Tate. Which if you've been living under a rock or, a millennial, you guys would already know that in actual life, Sharon Tate actually died. By who? By the hands of the Manson family cult, which also holds a very strong piece in this movie. Which I actually kind of think is sort of good because Quentin Tarantino's violence mixed with real-life horror, that makes for a very special film. But now, why don't we see things that were kind of off-putting about the movie? Letta, what do you think about that?
Alright, so look, here's the thing with Once Upon a Time movies or Once Upon a Time stories in general. You can't really go into a Once Upon a Time story with a preconceived notion of what's going to happen specifically. Because Once Upon a Time stories are really just about life. And as you know, throughout slices of life can either be exciting or really boring. There could be really long, boring parts and really short, exciting parts and vice versa. So that's the thing with Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that for the most part of the movie, it's so slow. Like, it's slow. You're there sitting for the first 45 to 50 minutes of the first act, and you're just there like, dang, hurry up. You know what I mean? So while you're watching, it's kind of like, as you're watching, you're like, okay, cool, the dialogue is great, the acting is really good, there's really good chemistry between characters, but then you start thinking to yourself, wait a minute, this is a Quentin Tarantino film. Like, you're watching two people talk for 30 minutes straight, and you're just there like, can someone get shot already? You're just waiting for the most unexpected thing to happen. Like, the person standing there talking to this person for 15 minutes straight, and you're just there like, my butt itches. It's kind of getting a little boring. You just wish that while they're talking, oh, hey, how's it going? And then the person dies. That's the thing that you're expecting in this movie because it hits you that it's Quentin Tarantino, but that doesn't happen for the most part of this movie. So for the first act, really boring. A lot of talking, very slow. Nothing really exciting. It's just going through Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth's, Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt's character, just going through their life, going through their plans for reaching success again in a new industry that's really changing, that they're too old school to be a part of. And they're just talking, trying to get auditions, trying to get producers' attention, and it's real boring because you're really just walking through somebody's life, and that really isn't as exciting all the time. It's not until the second act that things really start picking up, but even still, they don't pick up quickly. They pick up very slowly, slow enough for you to still get bored and be like, I feel like if I were to leave the movie right here in the middle, I wouldn't be missing out on anything. And to be honest, that feeling is very mutual with a lot of people. It's too slow for you to be like, okay, look, I'm actually going to sit through this until it's all over. You actually have that feeling of being like, okay, cut the movie. I don't feel like I'm going to miss out on anything. So the second act, pretty good. Things start developing a little quicker. A little more scenes are a little more, a little more exciting. There are a lot of there are a lot of those like gasp moments where it's like, man, okay, that was cool for the first like 5 seconds, and then it dies out and it goes back to like very lazy river. And it's not until the third act that things just pop, and you're just like, where in the world did that come from? So if you're somebody who's patient, if you're somebody who really doesn't care about a slow beginning but a really hectic end, this is the movie for you. But if you're somebody who really can't stand there being like, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, I'm bored as hell, I'm going to walk out and go look at something that's a little more exciting, then yeah, you probably shouldn't watch this movie. But for the most part, the acting is really good. The chemistry between characters is really good. This is definitely one of those movies where you might consider it to be Oscar-winning nominees for acting. The cinematography is good too. It's very old school because it takes place in the 1960s. It gives off a very... If you guys have seen the movie The Nice Guys, Russell Crowe, Ryan Gosling, it gives off that feeling, except the only difference is that The Nice Guys actually keeps you interested. There's a lot of funny jokes. There's a lot of sequences where you're just like, bro, like that was dumb, but that kept me interested. In this case, it's not like that. There's a lot of very slow dialogue, a lot of talking, until there are some moments that really hit you, but then they bring you back to another slow river down the range. So, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's just about two guys walking through life, trying to get to success again. And yeah, that's about it. So if you like that, yeah, sure, go ahead and watch it. If you don't, you might want to get off your seat, man. Maybe check out something a little more exciting. But for the most part, here at Theater Talk, we're going to give the movie a 7 out of 10. Yeah, acting is good, dialogue is good, but for the most part, the story, not that great.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching this new episode of Theater Talk. If you guys like this new Quentin Tarantino movie, then you guys please smash that thumbs up button and comment below what your favorite Quentin Tarantino movie is.
Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Don't forget to connect with us on Instagram and Twitter. We're going to be plugging the link in the description below. Peace.
Later, guys. What's up with Quentin and a foot?
Wait, what?